I are sick and tired of seeing what we see on the news. How am I supposed to bring up children in this world where they can go on social media and see the death of our people?
To be an artist, you always hear you gotta be a student of the game, right? So, before rap, there was funk, right? There was soul and R&B. So I went back in the sense of like, who inspired my goats, right? Who inspired Tupac?
Don't want glamour or fame, I just wanna make a change. Can't get caught up in a cage, won't see me in a chain. Look how far I came, the city know my name, and it holds weight, guess I'm heavy in the game. Looking in the mirror like I'm my worst enemy. Made it this far, still pray for longevity. Once upon a time, they ain't see it in me. Now it's all love, keep that same energy. Only if from here I got no limitation. See it for yourself, it's called imagination. They look up to me, they say I give them motivation. We are connected, 6 degrees of separation. Be good to each other, it's the golden rule. Wanted to make bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 18th Avenue Podcast. As you know, this is the podcast network where we explore culture and people. And if you like out of the subject, you come to the right place. I am your host, Rico Bottles. And today joining me here is a musical artist out of Edmonton, Alberta. Yeah, he's making the buzz. My man, my brother, Ntwali here with me, everybody. Welcome to the show, Ntwali. How's it going?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Everything's going well, just working on self, using this time to like reflect on a lot of things, do some research,
Yeah.
and like just, trying to level up in life.
I hear you. I think that's important. How is life? How is situation? I know that there's a little bit of peak on our side here with the pandemic and everything. How are things over there? Is it a little bit more silent? Is it a little bit more stable? Is it encouraging for people to come out a little bit more?
So I think it's a bit of both because like Edmonton's cases had gone up. I think we just passed Calgary, recently. But so far people are still coming out. I work at a restaurant called Central, and like procedures are very like serious in the sense of like what we do. Always got to sanitize, make sure everybody comes in, grab some sanitizer, or just like trying to do a contactless like service kind of,
Okay.
And like so I think like it's going well in that sense. Like people are coming out and people are taking precautions. I feel like if people weren't healthy before in the sense of like cleanliness, I think after this pandemic, like people have to wash their hands, There's no way.
Wash your hands, eh? It's kind of crazy how like it has to take something as drastic as this pandemic to get people to do just as simple as thing in life. But that's that's
straight
cool.
up.
Yeah, that's cool. Either which way. So let's get into it. So let's go into music.
Yeah, for sure.
I was reading this post that said Ntwali, our third mixtape album, but I know that post is old. I know it's still current. So like, what number are you at right now?
So right now I'm gonna be doing singles. I'm gonna be dropping singles, but I'm working on my fourth project too. Like it's in the air right now with what I want to do, but it's gonna be the Late Bloomer 2. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah. So since your first project, music wise, like how did you come up with the idea for the project, the title, and when you look at that body of work compared to your second body of work and your third body of work, how have you kind of like just move from one level to the next?
Definitely. So when I first started out, I would freestyle. Like so a lot of my first project reflects that, in the sense of like it's very unorthodox because like when you write music, it's very structured, but if you freestyle, like you just go in, like I'd go a cappella all the time, or like, I just freestyle. But so my first project, I would say it's like a few things you can tell is like my ear for good beats. I have a lot of good bars in there too, and like how raw I am in the sense of like portraying my story, my personal story. And the late bloomer is what I called my first project. And the late bloomer essentially is somebody who arrives late to the part of your life, in the sense of like your confidence is late, or your talents are late, or, like you find yourself a little later. And like, honestly, man, I was like 5'5" till I was like about 17. So I hit my growth spurt a little late in life,
Oh, really?
Yeah, straight up, at the end of high school. At the end of high school. So I didn't really play sports either and stuff. So I didn't really have an outlet to like dish out my energy, but I knew I loved hip hop, and I knew like I'd find something. But like at 16 years old, my friends were at a party, and they're like, "Yo, you could probably rap. You're black, like, whatever, So so I freestyled for them, and like they just laughed because it was so bad. But I remember like the feeling I had was just like, man, you guys don't know shit. Like, I'm gonna keep doing this. And then a year later, when I was 17, like I've rapped every day for a whole year straight. And then one day I was 17, like maybe I just hadn't rapped yet that day, but my friends were like, yo, why aren't you rapping right now? I was like, whoa. Right. That's when I had like the light bulb moment in my mind that like, yo, I should pursue this, And like the passion grew because like I grew up on BET, I grew up on Basement with Tigger, I grew up on like G-Unit, the Rise of G-Unit, I grew up on The Game, I grew up on Kanye West. I remember watching like Touch the Sky.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names. There's a lot of big names in there, yeah.
Absolutely. And like, and then in my teen years, I went back to the 90s, and like I fell in love with like Tupac, Big L, Biggie, and all those guys, and like the messages, and I'm just like, yo, I can take something from all these guys in the sense of like what I can bring to myself, and then just also spin Ntwali on top of that, like if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what the late bloomer was. Yeah, and then my second body of work was an EP called Summer Nights, and I'm just like, I'm talking my shit on there, I'm just having some fun.
Right.
And my third, and like you could tell progress, like you could still hear it, the evolution with Summer Nights. And then my third project is called Vintage Simba, and that idea came from my first name was Lil Simba, my rap name. So
Simba. Yeah,
Lil Simba, So I was a big fan of Lion King growing up. That's my favorite movie of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
And after that, I just changed it to Ntwali because I'm like, yo, I'd rather be authentic with it, like a Kendrick Lamar, or a Tupac, or like use your own name in there. So after that, I started taking a liking to 70s music, like Curtis Mayfield, Sly and the Family Stone.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire and stuff. So that's where I get the vintage. So Vintage, and then Simba, which also ties into my old rap name because like vintage is old. And then also I like to thrift. Like I go to thrift stores a lot and like get some cool stuff. So I really like that vintage. So I merge those two together and get like an old school funky vibe to that project. And that's what that is. But like for my next project and my singles, I'm just gonna be writing, and like I'm gonna take freestyling out of the equation and just deliver people just bangers,
Okay, that's pretty fire, man. That's pretty fire. Yeah, and I will come back to the Curtis Mayfield and the Curtis Blow. I'm not sure if you went as far as there, but what first got you into like music?
Definitely. So initially, I remember like my very first memory with music, like I was still back home in Rwanda, like because I moved here when I was 4. I just remember like liking the way it sounded, like the drums and like like the rhythm in Africa. Like I was just like I was very infatuated by that. And then moving to Canada, like I remember like we moved in 2000, so 2003, 2004, like 50 Cent just took over the world, with Get Rich or Die Trying. And I was just so blown away with like just that whole thing, like in the sense of like, yo, this guy's in a yellow Hummer, like, all these things, like spitting, like I
You've taken all these necessary steps to want to put yourself in a position where you can hear both sides and make up your own mind as to which side you want to go with, right? Just recognizing that we are immigrant and recognizing that we are living on borrowed land that isn't ours. It isn't ours, and it doesn't belong to the dominant society. And I had another friend of mine, we had this conversation just a little while ago, who was stressing that, really we should be thankful because all of this is possible because of the indigenous people that have laid this foundation to make it so. And it's only right that even before we run around and say, this is my place, is their place first.
For real, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And because of that, like, it's crazy that you say that because we had like a protest in Edmonton and like 15,000 people were there. And I spoke at it, and I gave the people one of my verses. And I'd love to share with you. I'd love to share it with you.
Yeah, sure. I think I saw a clip of it. You were up on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was digging up. I was doing some digging. Some CIA work, detective, hardcore.
Detective, conducteur,
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. But if you want to share it now with me and the people, I don't know if that's what you meant. You're welcome to.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah. So it's like, I just want to help my own generation. While y'all are blacks in incarceration, they make up half the jail population. What a clever way for renewed plantation. We in 2020, slavery ain't finished. It's an epidemic. I still got to witness. We can be the cure if we want to make a difference. My heart cries out for the indigenous. It gets on my nerves how they pushed on reserves without running water when they were here first. Building pipelines only made things worse. In their own words, we on their stolen land. We got to give it back. We got to give it back. It used to be sacred until they came and raped it. Writing these rhymes, got my hands shaking. I feel like Pac because I'm waiting on changes.
I like that. I like that. I would drop one of those DJ Clue bombs on that.
Okay.
Yeah, drop those DJ Clue. If I drop it now, you can't hear it, so it's pointless for me to drop it.
Respect,
No, like that's. And that's the truth. I think a lot of us are in solidarity with, the indigenous people and their land and everything. And, so how important do you think it is for indigenous people to come together alongside with black people to tackle this problem at hand, and also to our white brothers and sisters that are also on the front line and laying down the foundation and putting their life on the line as well? We're not the only people here getting pepper sprayed and being,
that's powerful.
Yeah, so
that's powerful.
We recognize that.
I think it's beautiful. And one thing, like I said, a government can't, once the people come together, it's hard to separate. It's almost impossible because, if you see some fuck shit going on to an indigenous person, my first reaction is to stand up for them. Because of that solidarity, because I know they'll stand up for me. And the thing is, that's a human thing we need to do. And my parents, they were talking the other day, and I was trying to get them to understand what's going on in North America and stuff. That we came here as refugees and stuff, and I'm not discrediting the fact that this is a lot safer, and I don't have to ever worry about my neighbor coming to do some crazy shit, but I
said for now,
right? Hey, come with it though, But so I told them, I'm like, yo, you guys left a war-torn country, you guys left the genocide, but at the same time, we came here not knowing that there was genocide here. And not knowing that there's genocide in America because of the way indigenous people are portrayed to the world and the way that black African Americans are portrayed to the world. So we came here with the idea of being model citizens, model immigrants. Oh, don't sag your pants. Can't hang out those kids. No, you guys can't be out too late. You guys, So my parents were, trying to uphold that image, and I respect it because, my brothers and I turned out really great. We're very respectful people. understand how precious life is and the pressures of being a good person.
Wanted to make bangers and drop out of school. Press fast forward, I guess I was a fool. Cause a mind is a weapon, education is a tool. Just gave you 16, fuck it, here's 32. I got ancient knowledge, talking Timbuktu. We have black dots ingrained in our roots. I know my story and that's why I won't lose. No longer trip how they depict us on news. Snobby reporters couldn't walk in our shoes. With my platform, I only speak truth. I'ma stay honest, I don't care about the views. Only good or evil, you gotta pick a side. When we in it together, forget conquer and divide. Those who keep it real got nothing to hide. So when I leave earth, I leave nothing behind. I know where I stand, I'm no longer torn. I'ma stay hot, God don't like lukewarm. Gotta have faith in the eye of a storm. God coming soon and you now been warned. Gone.